How's it going, guys? Josh here at Trax RC, and today we'll be comparing the Stampede 4x4 VXL to the ARRMA Granite 4x4 3S BLX V3. But before we start, we want to invite you guys over to check out our website, our merch shop, and our Facebook page. You'll find all those linked below in the description. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and click that notification bell so that you get updates anytime we post a video. Now, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into comparing these two RCs. So let's start off with comparing the bodies. Now, this is not the stock body on our Stampede 4x4. This is an upgraded one. The stock body on the Stampede 4x4 is really bad. It will always crack around the body post holes right there, and it's pretty much unusable at that point. However, what we've noticed with the ARRMA Granite is that it's showing no signs of wear around the body post holes, but it's showing a lot of wear right back here on the tailgate area. So that's definitely an area to watch out for, and you probably would want to strengthen that, which is what we're actually going to be doing after this video. And then another thing with the bodies is the stock body on the Stampede 4x4, it hasn't been changed in years, pretty much since the release of it, and it's just dated. However, with the Granite, it's much more updated, modern, and it looks a lot better in my opinion. Alright, so now let's take off the bodies and talk about the cars themselves. So the Granite is 100% stock, and our Stampede 4x4 is pretty much maxed out for the most part with upgrades. So that does make this a little bit unfair, but we're going to compare it to this in the stock form. So we'll just start off with durability. In the stock form, the Granite is definitely way more durable. There are a few weak points on it, like maybe the arms. I know that was an issue for the V2. Not sure if it's an issue with the V3 though. And that's pretty much it. I feel like the shocks are going to leak at some point, but that's really it. And the weaknesses definitely are not as much as the Stampede 4x4. On this truck, you need different drive shafts if you plan on running it on even 2S LiPo. You're going to break drive shafts, and on 3S LiPo, you're definitely going to completely destroy them. And then the shocks on the Stampede 4x4, the shock shafts will bend and the shock caps will just pop off. So we've upgraded that. And then the durability of the drivetrain on these, I'm going to have to give this one to the Granite, because ARRMA has figured out to use a lot of plastic on this RC. Like, most of this RC is actually plastic, and it's still very strong, which is really good because you don't want your RC to be super heavy, and plastic doesn't weigh a ton. And if you can figure out how to make plastic work in certain areas without weighing it down with metal, then that is really good. With the Stampede 4x4, the differentials are made out of metal, plastic cups, and internal gears are also metal. However, on the Granite, the ring and pinion are plastic, which is really surprising, and they are very durable too. The cup is made of plastic on the diffs, and then there are also metal internal gears, so they put metal where they need to, which is really good for this RC. So in the durability categories of these RCs, the Granite definitely wins. You could just do a lot more with the RC and not worry about breaking as much. And then with the Stampede 4x4, it's pretty much going to break every single run if you run on 3S. It's pretty much a 2S platform, and they just put a 3S system in it. It's really not made up to be to all the power, so you really need to upgrade it. So that's it for durability. Now we're going to move on to the electronics, and we're going to have to give this one to the Granite again, mainly because it comes with an ESC fan right there. It comes with a motor fan and a motor heat sink, and it comes with a decent servo, and then it comes with a pretty good radio system too. Whereas on the Stampede 4x4, it does not come with a fan for the ESC. We had to purchase that separately. It does not come with the motor heat sink. It comes with a pretty decent servo, probably no better than the ARRMA servo that we looked at, and the radio system definitely has a lot less range. So here's a look at the radios. This one's for the Stampede 4x4, obviously by the Stampede 4x4 sticker, and this one is for the Granite. So this is the Traxxas TQ 2.4 gigahertz radio system, 2 channels, super basic. The range on it, it's really not the best. It gets by, but what we like about this radio is the ergonomics to it. It's kind of easy to drive it one-handed. And then for the ARRMA, we have the Spectrum SLT3 radio, And this radio is a 3-channel radio. It has a much bigger steering wheel, and it definitely feels a lot better, and it's a lot easier to one-hand drive it. It has a lot of knobs, which this one does not have. Definitely a nice feature. And we have the 3rd channel switch right there, so if you want to hook up some lights or something, you can do that. And then if we flip it over, we have the power button, some more switches like throttle limit, throttle reverse, steering reverse, stuff like that. And with this radio, you have to change all the settings with a single set button and some flicks of the trigger and the steering wheel. It's really not easy to work with. This, you just turn the knob and it's done. And the Spectrum SLT3 radio combo is actually really affordable. We might actually just pick up that combo and put it in our Stampede 4x4, because this radio it gets the job done, but we're really looking for something a little bit more. So we've talked about durability, we've talked about electronics. Now let's discuss the suspension, I guess. Suspension wise, on the Stampede 4x4, we've already talked about the durability of it. The suspension travel on these RCs feels pretty similar, but for whatever reason I feel like the Granite might have a little bit more. But the Stampede 4x4 may come with a little bit more out of the box, because we have lowered this quite substantially just to make it flip over less. And we've also changed like the shock positions to do that. With this RC, completely stock, literally took it out of the box, and this is how it is. So for suspension wise on these RCs, they both work pretty well. We're just gonna give this one a tie because we haven't used the Granite long enough to really dial things in and tune it. So now we're gonna talk about ease of use / like how easy it is to work on. And this one is definitely the Granite. You can remove the differentials in, I think, 4 screws. You can remove the whole motor module in 1 screw, and the electronics module in, like, I feel like it's 3 screws. Whereas on the Stampede 4x4, it's not too hard to work on. It's definitely really easy to, but the Granite is definitely a lot better in that category. So now we're going to talk about the battery trays, and we're going to give this one to the Granite again, mainly because it's a lot bigger and it has Velcro. We really like to use Velcro. Whereas on the Stampede 4x4, it does not come with Velcro. We added this. It comes with this plastic strap, and it's not very versatile. And the battery tray, it's a pretty good size actually. It fits a lot of packs, but the Granite one is definitely a lot bigger, so you can fit bigger packs, which equal more runtime. But one thing that I don't like about the Granite battery tray is that it's not like smooth on the edges. Like if you can see right here, it has like little pieces sticking out right there, even right there, like sticks out right there. And then like there's a huge gap right here, and you could take out this block actually to fit a longer pack. But yeah, I just don't like how like there's a lot of empty space, and the battery's gonna hit that, and like it could puncture the battery and like dent it. Like for example, if you land really hard on the rear end like that, your battery's going to slide that way, and it's going to jam right against that block, and then this half of the battery is getting no pressure. So I don't really like that. I wish that they would add like some foam and stuff to like protect that battery. Whereas on the Stampede 4x4, as you can see, the battery tray is like completely smooth. So now we're going to talk about the price of these RCs. The Granite is $299 for the brushless model, and the Stampede 4x4 is, I think, like $370 to $400. I'm not too sure on the price 100%, but the value for money is definitely a lot better with the Granite. So the Granite, definitely a lot more affordable. And with the Granite, it has a lot of plastic, like I've said, so spare parts are going to be a lot cheaper than if they were all metal. And on the Stampede 4x4, you need a lot if you want to really bash it. You need like a servo, you need to upgrade the shocks, the tires, suspension, drivetrain, stuff like that. And we're in like $800 with upgrades on our Stampede. And the Granite, you really don't need anything. Maybe some arms, shocks if you really want to. It really doesn't need that much. So with the sizes of these RCs, I think the Granite is a little bit bigger, just looks more beefy, and the wheelbase is definitely a little bit longer. The overall chassis is just much bigger, as you can see there. Tire wise, Granite tires are a little bit bigger, although these are aftermarket tires that we have. These are Pro-Line trenchers. The stock ones are pretty decent. And overall, the Granite is just a little bit bigger of a truck, which I actually really like, because bigger RCs just tend to handle better on rough terrain, and it makes it a lot more controllable and a lot more fun. So now we're going to talk about the speed. out of the box, I think that the Stampede 4x4 is maybe a little bit slower than the Granite, but we've geared this thing up a little bit more to make it go a lot faster. So as it sits right now, our Stampede is a lot faster than the Granite. And I think that's all the categories that we've talked about pretty much. If you guys have any other questions about these two trucks, definitely post a comment down below and we'll get back to you. And we hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time on Traxxas.